Hi, I'm Joey.
And I'm Owen.
And today, the word of the day is boobs. Can you say boobs with me, kids? Good. We just saw Sin City: A Dame to Kill For. It's subtitled, its other subtitles, boobs.
Boobs.
Boobs. Boobs.
Boobs. Sim City. I just really want to say Sim City. It's a fun game.
I showed you Sin City 1 for the first time today.
Yes, you did.
That way, and I remember we're in the middle of the theater and you're like, I'm so glad I saw the first one before this. That actually kind of was something that I thought was kind of a bummer because the first movie just kind of jumps around between different stories and different times, and I knew that this one might do that as well. So I was hoping it wouldn't be as dependent on the first movie, because literally the one story takes place before any of the other stories in the first movie, and then the rest of the stories take place after the first movie. So I was hoping that you could watch this one without watching the other ones, but really it's not going to work out that way.
I mean, honestly, for me, I felt like I was just as confused going into the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I was very confused going into the first one, and I feel like it would have been about equivalent if I hadn't seen the first one before I saw the second one. Mm-hmm. Just from my point of view, but it did add so much more to it, and I feel like you could watch them out of order and still get something good out of them. It's just definitely better to see one if you see the other, especially the Nancy Callahan story. That's just...
Well, that was the one I was particularly thinking about.
Yeah, because that's the only one that's I don't know, that one's a good story, but if you don't see it first, it just doesn't mean much in the second one. That one wouldn't have been that great of a story in the second one, I don't think, in my opinion, if you hadn't seen the first part in the first movie. But the rest of it held its own very well, and even that, it might have been interesting, it just wouldn't have had the same, substance to it.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out that the book series, the graphic novels, Dame to Kill For is my favorite of the Sin City yarns, and it was really good to see this on the big screen. It was, in my opinion, it was, if not the strongest, the second strongest part of the whole movie. I'm torn between the Nancy Callahan thing and the Dame to Kill For storyline as being the strongest. I can't decide myself, but I'm torn. I'd have to watch it a few times.
What do I think?
Mm-hmm.
You think I get to talk?
Yes, you get to talk. You have permission to speak, my Padawan.
Never spoken before.
That's not true.
That's not true at all. No, I really liked the Nancy Callahan story. I think it was my favorite. All of the stories were really good. Dame to Kill For had a lot of boobs, a lot of butt. There's a lot of it.
A lot of man crack.
Yeah, it was a lot. But it was what. Aside from that, it was good. I thought that one was the prettiest to see, just with the way the main dame was colored just a little bit. I liked her colorization or whatever the word would be.
I liked how her eyes got greener as it progressed.
Yeah, I noticed that too, because they started out blue, didn't they?
No, they started out gray.
Okay.
And as it progressed and as her intentions became more visible,
mm-hmm.
they got greener and greener.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a nice little touch.
Yeah, I liked that too. Yeah, I thought that one was very pretty. And I thought it was really good to watch. The story wasn't as much my taste. It was very sexual. I don't know. I just wasn't as into it for that. But I still thought it was a really good story. But I liked the Nancy Callahan because I like Bruce Willis too. He's always stuck being a dead guy.
The criticisms I've heard for this movie so far are that the Dame to Kill For story is it drags, and I don't think it does. I thought it was done decently because that's what the book is, and it's my favorite book, and it was done on the screen exactly the way it is in the book, with the besides them changing one of the better lines to something kind of lame, because they used that line in the previous movie, and so it's the gun, the silencer makes a whisper of the bullet, and in this one is like it buckled and barked in my hand, and it just wasn't as good of a line. But I thought it was done well, and I really feel like that complaint's really unfounded. I think maybe it's there because impatience, maybe. Because you're like, oh, there's supposed to be all these stories, and then you have one full uninterrupted story.
Yeah, I felt like that one did go on for a long time, but it didn't feel dragging to me. It was very constant and interesting, in my opinion. I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, it just keeps going and going and going. Like, something was always happening. Like, in that movie, there's not really dull moments. There's always something happening, and like, it didn't feel draggy. It felt like, it just felt long, but not in a bad way. It was just the longest.
Yeah, sorry.
It was just the longest, like, straight through one.
It's the main story of the movie.
Yeah. The movie has its title, has it for a title, expect it to go on.
Yeah, I do think that, honestly, the way they could have avoided that complaint is if they had interrupted the middle of it. If you've read the graphic novel, or, like, I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, I don't know if
spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
But like, Dwight goes and gets plastic surgery, and in the book, I think it takes like 3 months for it to like turn out all right. I really think that they should have interrupted that 3-month time span with maybe another story, just to flesh that bit out. To add like a sense of time passing, I guess, because when you watch the movie, it's like, oh, he has a new face all of a sudden and his eyes healed, and you're like, I mean, if I didn't read the book, I wouldn't have known that time had passed. It was just like, oh, he recovered fast, kind of thing. But that's just me. I thought it was fine, and I didn't think it dragged at all. Matter of fact, I thought it went too fast in some parts.
Now, one thing you mentioned earlier that I disagree with, like, not in the video, but just you mentioned earlier, was you didn't like that guy that passed away after the first movie, the big black guy. He, like, I know you didn't really like the guy they got for him. I liked him alright, and I really like the guy in the first movie. I think he's a really good actor. I just like him. I didn't find the new guy threatening. Really? See, I found him threatening. Like, I think you can't beat the original guy. Like, that guy was perfect for the role, and he's a good actor. Like, I always thought he was a very strong actor. And so it's like it's hard to replace him. But I felt like the new guy, to me, he seemed threatening. He wasn't as big. He wasn't as big as the original guy. But that guy's like huge. Isn't he like 6'4" or something?
Well, the guy I thought they were going to replace him with, I don't know this actor's name, but if you ever seen The Fifth Element, he's the president, and he goes, I don't want an incident. That guy. I thought they were going to get that guy for some reason. And then I saw it was the Allstate guy. I was like, are you in good hands? At least I think it's the Allstate guy.
I wouldn't
sure
even
didn't sound like
that.
him. Then it was the Allstate guy. I don't know. I just felt like he was going to lovingly like give Mickey Rourke some car insurance or something.
Kind of like if the progressive lady like showed up to like be in it.
Or Lady Gaga showed up for no reason.
Lady Gaga, like freaking. I mean, she did a fine job though. That's one thing. They had Lady Gaga in it, and it didn't make you want to like grind your face up. Even if you like Lady Gaga or whatever, like it doesn't really matter. Throwing in like a popular singer in like an actually solid movie is a terrible idea. Is that the one with Selena Gomez that you're coughing out?
No, The Giver is the one that randomly has Taylor Swift.
Oh gosh, that sounds like a bad idea.
I know you like Taylor
Swift. She can't act.
She can't act.
She can't act. No, I don't. Oh my gosh, no.
I was thinking about maybe seeing The Giver in the theaters because I really do like the book, but the make or break thing in it was, Taylor Swift's in it. I don't think so.
Or throwing Selena Gomez. Like, yeah, that can really take me out of a movie. Because it's just like, look, I'm in this movie because I'm popular right now. And even if they're a good actor, it can take me out. But then I'm like, well, at least they have a right to be here. Lady Gaga randomly showing up. I mean, she fit in. She did a fine job. She pulled it off. She didn't take me out of the movie. I actually was sitting there kind of being like, who is that? That person looks familiar. Like, and trying to remember if it was a character from the last thing because she has these like big painted on eyebrows and like lipstick. And I was just like, is that a character from the last movie? And then Joey was like, is that Lady Gaga? And I was like, oh my gosh, totally is Lady Gaga. So like, I didn't even realize, and that's how well she managed to blend in, which surprised me.
Let's talk about the Johnny storyline.
Okay.
The gambler.
It was good.
It was. I liked it. That one felt the most noir out of the whole movie.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
I really like noir. I really wish.
Why are you so against ours? Noirs.
I really like noir movies. I really wish I've seen more than I have. I particularly like neo noir. Is that my phone?
It's mine.
I particularly like neo noir. I don't know what it is. Like I like both, but for some reason I just have this thing about neo noir. I just really like seeking out new modern noir films. But that one felt the most noir. Like in its build up, its pacing, and very stylized. I think besides the main storyline, I think it was the most stylized. I mean, they have the commercial where he's throwing the cards at Joseph Gordon-Levitt and it cuts him up. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I thought that was a good one.
Yeah. I don't know. Actually, when the cards cut him up, I didn't really like that first. Like, I thought that idea was good, but it just looked kind of bad to me.
Look fakey.
Yeah, it looks fakey. And I mean, obviously, I guess it's understandable they didn't actually want to cut out their star. Like, that could be a problem. There might be lawsuits. But it was just like, and I felt like maybe it was even meant to look that way, but that did like zap me out a little bit, but not enough to really make me care and be like, oh, that shouldn't be in there. That really bothered me. And I'm not passionate about, like, I mean, I really actually like the movies a lot. I think I'm going to enjoy them a lot. Like, I think I'm going to continually be into them, which is good news for you. But, like, I have not, been an avid fan. I just saw the first one today. I'd only seen parts of it before while it was running, while all this other stuff was going on. And I didn't, I haven't read the graphic novels. But, like, that story ran really smoothly for me. Mm-hmm. I liked it. Like, that one, I liked that one. I liked the actress that was in it. The girl at the bar that was, like, his Lucky Charm. Lucky Charm. I liked that actress. I thought she was actually really charming. I kind of wish she'd been in it a little more. Like, I didn't know who she was, like, at all. Like, I don't know if I've seen her or anything. But I felt like she actually, a lot of times in movies when they introduce a girl like that, she's super generic and she blends in and she's just there to be a pretty face. And I mean, that character was literally just there to be the pretty face that he uses. Like, it wasn't like she really needed to have a strong character in any way, but I felt like that, whatever actress that was, I felt like she really managed to, without really doing too much, have a presence. And that was just impressive on its own to me. That it wasn't just another bland, generic girl, which a lot of the girls in that are good at carrying their own, and that's impressive.
Another complaint I'm hearing about this is they're feeling that the dame to kill for, the woman, the baby wore blue in it. Mm-hmm. They're complaining that she didn't have enough character development, and I feel like this is coming from some sort of hollow, look at me, I'm up for equality kind of thing, and I think that's a really dumb thing to say. It's not a valid thing to say in a movie that has so many full, strong female characters. you pick on this one character that's antagonistic, that her vagueness of her character, her motivations are just so bland. That's the point.
Yeah.
That's all she is.
I
She
mean,
just wants money.
there are people like that in real life. You can complain about lack of character development, but that's a real thing, guys and girls. That happens. It's not like, oh, no one in real life will be that shallow and terrible.
I just think it was good. It was right for the movie.
It was right for the movie, and it's not like, oh, that's never happened before, so therefore they're just being sexist by making it happen. And that movie has better developed, strong female characters than most chick flicks or other things that girls fully enjoy. So there should be no right to actually complain about that movie or that bit of lack of character development, because that's what was good for the story.
There was no character.
It was a story.
That if you wanted, there was not depth needed there. It was revealed that she was more shallow and shallow as the film progressed, but you didn't need to know why. That would have kind of ruined it. Okay, it says that I'm going to have to stop. Sorry, I'm borrowing a friend's SD card, and it lets me record for a long time, but it's on a timer to stop every 16 minutes. So sorry about that. But yeah, I liked her in the movie. She was freaking evil. Yeah. And very good at playing that off.
Yeah, it's funny. At first, I kind of didn't like her. She's not a super likable character, but I didn't really like the actress, I guess. At first, in the beginning, for me, she didn't carry a presence as much as I wanted her to, and she just felt wrong at first. But then, as it progressed, I actually liked the actress playing her and started liking the story more. At first, she just felt bland. She just felt wrong, but then she owned it. She owned it like a big, strong woman, you know.
I think that was actually kind of the point, because when they first introduced her, she's playing him.
Yeah, no, it was like, it wasn't that she was playing him. I just didn't like the actress. I don't know. I didn't like her. I didn't like her. She just rubbed me the wrong way. No, I don't know. But then once I saw her boobs, everything was okay.
This is, I guess, is a nitpick and not so much a legitimate complaint. Her
boobs are supposed to be bigger.
No, I already talked about how I felt like they should have put some more time in between the 3 months to show that off better. But after he had his surgery, there wasn't a big enough change in the way he looked. He still looked like the same guy with just a wig. And to me it was just I understand they couldn't get Clive Owen to do the whole movie, but maybe they should have got him just for those scenes. Or I don't know. I don't know what the situation was with the movie, but it was just, it was something that stuck out to me as a flaw, whether it was a flaw or not. Whether it was a flaw or not, it stuck out to me as one, and it did take me out of the movie, because I was just how would he not know that they were going to recognize him, because he looks basically the same. He's just got a skinnier nose, you know.
See, for me, I have decently bad character and facial recognition. Like I was telling you earlier, the fact that I actually was able to connect the characters from the first movie to the second movie and differentiate them is actually pretty impressive, considering how many characters there are. So me, when he changed looks, I was like, sure, he looks exactly like the guy in the first one. Whoa, whatever. And it didn't matter at all to me. That wasn't something that bothered me at all. But I know I'm actually terrible at stuff like that, and I don't want you to be angry at me later for disagreeing with you and don't want you to beat me.
No, like I was saying, I'm not sure if that was really a flaw, but I interpreted it as one. Mm-hmm. But it could legitimately not be one.
Yeah, you just have to see kind of what other people think and what the majority of people think, because that's just coming from me, and I'm just a dumb woman. No, I'm not, an avid fan. I've just seen them for the first time today, and I can't remember anything and like confuse every guy ever in movies. So it's not really super impressive that it tricked me, because like they could have completely changed the actor to a different actor that looked nothing like the actor in the first movie, but had the same haircut, and I would have been like, whoa, it's the same guy, like. They could have like freaking put like Rosie O'Donnell with a wig in there, and I would have been impressed. Like,
let's see. I hope they make a third film
with Rosie O'Donnell in a wig.
With Rosie O'Donnell in a wig. But I think they only got like 2 more full stories left, because let's see. There's seven releases. They used the 3 in 1, and they used 1 in this. And then one of them's a bunch of short stories. So then there's only 2 stories left. Hell and Back and Family Values? And then there's what?
Are there more stories with Nancy?
Yes.
Cool. I like her.
One of them I know is one that has her as a little girl. And I believe, it's been a while, but I believe Marv rescues her. I don't remember. It's been a while. It's been a while.
I'm just curious. I like her.
Yeah, she's not the same character that we saw in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't. Is
that the end of that character?
That is a completely new story that was never done before. But yeah, there's just a collection of short stories, and then I think there's 2 full stories: Family Values and Hell and Back. I believe that's it. And I think they got like some good ones.
You started petting me, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, no, I hope they do the 2 full stories in the next one, because I don't want, as much as I like Sin City, I don't want like 20 Sin City movies. Where each movie the actors just get older and older, even though they're supposed to die in the first one, and they're all young looking. That's gonna get distracting. But like maybe they'll do 2 more. Like they'll do like Hell and Back in 1, and then they'll do a bunch of short stories that were in. I don't remember what that collection is called. I don't know. I'm looking forward to future sequels.
Yeah, I'd be really curious about that.
And I really hope it doesn't take another decade for the next one to come out.
Yeah, I really liked the colorization of the whole movie. First of all, it gave me less of a headache to watch it in 3D, but since that was 3D was the only way we could see it on opening night. But I don't know. It reminded me of like Pleasantville, except like good. Like the black and white mixed with color.
I forgot you don't like Pleasantville.
Yeah, fat bro.
I hate Pleasantville.
I don't have as passionate as a hatred, but it really irritates me because I saw commercials for it for years and it looked really cool, and then I saw it and I was like, why does the tree catch on fire when she's in the bathtub? I don't understand.
See, Pleasantville is a movie that just rubs me the wrong way. The whole movie, they're trying to be like, don't let society tell you what to do. And then in turn, they create a new society that basically tells them what to do. It is such a hypocritical movie. Like, that's just bare bones. The whole movie, like, I watched it in my cinema appreciation class, and I had to write a paper on it. And it was all these topics. And I didn't agree with any of them. They're like, so how do you feel that the color symbolized this? And I was just like, I don't think it symbolized that. And I I don't think it symbolized that. I think I basically wrote like, would you recommend this movie? I'm like, no, I think it's a hypocritical piece of crap. And I didn't write that. I was much more intelligent with the way I phrased it. And I was like, man, he's going to give me a low rating because my professor says this was one of his favorite movies. I got an A. I think I actually might have gotten an A+ on a paper.
Mr. McDonald is one of the most respectful teachers as far as just appreciating your opinion. If it's thought out and you actually have a brain in there and you choose to put work into it, he really respects opinions. He doesn't like, especially on stuff like that that's interpretive, he doesn't say there's only one right answer and that's good.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're ever thinking about coming to the middle of nowhere known as Visalia and you want to go to community college, look up Mr. McDonald. He's
Mr. McDonald, not Mr. McDonald.
Sorry.
He doesn't have a father.
I had a teacher named Mr. McDonald.
That's great. I would call him McDonald.
But he's legitimately one of my favorite teachers. Like,
oh, he's wonderful. He's my favorite teacher that I've ever had in school.
Yeah, like, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Pleasantville sucks.
Yeah, I didn't really mean for you to go on a tangent, but it's funny. No, I was just saying, like, the colorization of Pleasantville always seems so cool to me because it's black and white, and then there's a splash of color, and it was just beautiful. It's beautiful to watch if you have it on mute.
Yeah.
And no, I like Tobey Maguire. I can watch the movie and not be as angry as you are, but I just don't think it's good.
I think it's good for the first half.
I can see that. But like, anyway, basically it has Don Knotts.
I know.
I love Don Knotts. And I love Tobey Maguire.
Well, I got my bullet.
He's great. But no, anyway, Sin City. Sorry.
I was going to say another movie I saw that did that.
Uh-huh.
Old Vincent Price movie called The Tingler. Look this crap up. This movie's actually decent. Okay, this is back in the day where they used to do crazy stuff in the theater. Like, they'd shock your seats and crap. Like, I remember when William Castle used to do this stuff. Like, when House on Haunted Hill came out, they had a skeleton that would swing over the audience. And apparently, like, after like the third or fourth week of them showing the movie, they started throwing crap at the skeleton. But The Tingler came out, and they would turn off the lights. And they go, the Tingler's going to get you. You got to scream. Scared away by screaming and stuff. There was a lot of gimmicks in the movie. But it had one gimmick that really stood out. The movie was in black and white. And they shot one sequence in color. They painted a woman gray. They put a gray, like black wig on her. And they painted her gray. And they had her in a set that was all gray and white. And she turned on the sink and red blood started pouring out of the sink. In this old movie, it's an all black and white, red blood starts pouring out of the sink and starts pouring out of the bathtub. And just imagine how shocking that would have been back in the day. That would have been freaky. Just to be back in the 60s or whatever and just see that crap happen. That would have been cool.
No, yeah. I mean, that sounds interesting.
I really wish I had that movie. Like, if you ever find that at a yard sale or something, get that for me.
Noted. No, but I really like that colorization type of thing. I like pictures edited that way. I always like that, and Pleasantville always disappointed me in that. Like, it was really beautiful, but I wanted a better story, and Sin City has, I mean, they're not really comparable stories.
Yeah.
Though I wish the people in Pleasantville would die violently. The Sin City was actually a really good story, and it was beautiful to watch. Like, I haven't seen many movies prettier to watch than that. Just everything about it. I actually didn't mind watching it in 3D, and I'm not a fan of watching whole movies in 3D. I'm a fan of, like, reading a magazine in 3D once a year when Nickelodeon magazine comes out with their 3D.
Yeah, I'm very much old school, and I hate 3D. Very few movies I think are okay in 3D. Tron Legacy was good in 3D. I like Tron Legacy in 3D. That one. I had no complaints with that one.
The only movie I've seen in theaters in 3D other than Sin City was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Ooh.
Whatever it was, the newest one that had that like girl with big boobs. It was supposed to be like Pirate Fighter, but we all just knew she was in there for big boobs. And wasn't believable as a fighter at all. I saw that one and I was like, the boobs are gonna hit me.
That girl is the girl I don't like.
Oh, okay.
That's I think you talk about the pirate girl that hits on Johnny Depp.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like her. She's she plays Uhura in the new Star Trek.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't like her.
But no, yeah, like I haven't seen much like that. Other than that, I've just seen things at home. Like I have a 3D copy of Journey to the Center of the Earth, and I think maybe I think Coraline might be. I don't know. I've seen a couple things at home, but I'm just not really into that. I prefer it to not be that.
I call it headache vision. It gives me a headache. 3D hardly ever works, and when it does, it just seems unnecessary.
Yeah,
this was a movie. I think it worked.
Yeah, it did, and like I have to cram on 3D glasses over my glasses too, or else I'll get a really severe headache. So it's always just a pain in the butt, and I prefer not to. But for this, the glasses stayed on. I had to adjust them a lot, but whatever. And it didn't give me a headache. It actually, like especially the scenes where it snowed, those were pretty in 3D. Like there were some moments where I was just like, yeah, this is really cool in 3D. There
were some moments that were a bit like unneeded. I can't think of one in particular, but there were some moments where I was just like, that didn't need to be 3D. That didn't need to be in my face. But
kind of like when I saw Titanic in 3D and someone like bends down right in front of the camera to pick up a crate, and I was like, hello, 3D butt. I forgot I saw Titanic in 3D. I saw Titanic in 3D. And I convinced my mother that they actually were going to like pour down ice cold water from the ceiling in it. And she believed me. I was like, yeah, it's like they're trying to take the Rocky Horror Picture Show to all the movies. And she just like believed it and got really freaked out.
A skeleton's going to fly down.
Yeah. She got really, I was thinking about that when you were saying that. She got really freaked out. I have it recorded somewhere on like a crappy cell phone camera of me telling her that. And just being like, really? Oh no, that sounds cold. Yes, like they're gonna drown us, Mom, to put us in the experience of the Titanic. They're just gonna kill us.
Ice bucket challenge.
Ice bucket. Have you seen those memes that are around that are like, have the Titanic and it's like, I nominate everyone for the ice bucket challenge, or Rose sucking a dick and she's like, haha, I nominate you for the ice bucket challenge. Those make the ice bucket challenge. Those make me pleased.
Well, I think we should start wrapping it up.
Wrapping it. What are we wrapping? Yo. Rapping, yo. I'm a obnoxious white girl, yo.
I'm only saying that because it's about to be 16 minutes. It is 16 minutes now. So, anything you want to say?
Movie was good. Go see it unless you don't like a lot of nudity or violence.
Graphic violence.
Yeah, or violence really freaks you out.
Yeah, I'd say it's worth the price of admission into a theater. I'm very much in the old school way of saying I love seeing movies in the theater. And we're going to stop right now. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye.
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 Bye.